And hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the final day of week 2 of the Nebula Series playoffs, finishing out with Div 2. Actually, I haven't seen a lot of them recently. Actually, we did see them at the beginning of the week, but nonetheless, it's been more recent. And so today's match is going to be IPE Quetzalcoatl versus Unkstack. As today in the casting booth, it is just me once again. That's right, Dusty's here to stay. And once again, you cannot escape me. The playoff Dusty is back in peak performance. But, who cares about that? Let's get to these teams, ladies and gentlemen. For IPE Quetzalcoatl, we have Boop and Shan on DPS, Gabe on tank, and then Phoenix and Pleb on support. And for the side of Unkstack, we have Allegro and Aussie on DPS, PK0 on tank, and I Forgot and Toko on support. There are your rosters, and then to get underway, map number 1 is going to be Nepal. Not honestly what we've seen throughout a lot of the season. We've seen a lot more Lijiang Tower, even a little Oasis. Me seeing Nepal is actually a little rare, so I'm not gonna really complain. And from what I've heard, I've done a little research of for myself here. This is an interesting matchup because we see Onkstack running a lot of traditional type of comps, while that's IPE Quetzalcoatl not really the same here. I've heard they like the Reinhardt, which I approve of, and the Roadhog, which I don't really approve of as much, but it's fine. Nonetheless, both teams are ready, and we are already going into map number 1. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We are on time for a Nebula stream. And so here we go. It's going to be Kiriko and Cassidy banned, by the way. Kiriko banned by Quetzalcoatl, and Cassidy banned by the Unkstack. Just want to get those underway for any audio listeners who are not watching the stream. And either way, thank you for watching. As we do have drops, I think. And here are the comps coming out. We do see the Diva comp coming out for Unkstack with Lucio Bap, potentially a Symmetra stay. And then IPE Quetzalcoatl will have Gabe on the Reinhardt, Phoenix on the Moira, Pleb on the Ana, Boop on the Emre, and then I don't know about each Symmetra player here for the teams. I think it's just going to be the sort of teleporter. But we could see Shan stay here since Reinhardt Symmetra is a notorious combo. But it's not going to be, as Shan's going to go over to the Echo, and Aussie's going to go over to the Tracer respectively here. As it's going to be a very aggressive first start. Unkstack is able to get the first high ground control here. The Reinhardt not able to have their shield kept up the entire time. Allegro and Aussie going very early. Going to beat Diva getting caught out early with a nice bio nade as well. Shan's able to get Allegro, and it's going to be the Reinhardt trying to clean up PK0. They're going to be able to. And it's going to be a quick rush to the point here from Quetzalcoatl. Going to quickly try to clean up Unkstack. Dokodoro, yeah. They were able to get away on the Baptiste here for a little bit. But it was just really unfortunate here. You kind of just forget the guy with the Reinhardt there for a second and really let him, get the pin onto PK0, who, just got DMAC'd immediately. So once you lose your DMAC, it's a little rough. And then, 15% accounting here already on the point for IPE Quetzalcoatl. It's going to actually be a quick point play by Aussie. And it's going to change this up too much. They're eventually going to drop down here to the point. It's going to be the Reinhardt trying to hold it. They're already losing a lot of their shield. No PK0 is going to be going up. I forgot it's going to help out. Allegro with the railgun. Able to find Shan. Now Unkstack is up to 1 in this fight. PK0 is falling low, however. Gabe getting closer and closer to a potential Earth Shatter here. It's going to be a nano boost onto the Reinhardt. Phoenix getting close to the Coalescence as well. No ult online yet for the Unkstack, but the potential amplification matrix and a pulse bomb from Aussie. Pulse bomb goes out. It finds the Moira. Aussie finds 2. The Tracer was able to get the cleanup here for the side of Unkstack. That's going to be 3 for the Tracer and a little extra help from Allegro. Unfortunately here, it's going to be PK0 getting T-maxed. Gabe's going to try to get away on the Reinhardt. Has a shatter, but is going to get staggered. Will help PK0 try to get back their mech a little quicker, but it's still going to take a while. We have 38% accounting here for the point for Unkstack, just because of Quetzalcoatl is being a little lenient on letting them get that flip. So a lot of that point was being ticked up the entire fight, and now Quetzalcoatl is coming up to full 25% on the point. It's gonna be a huge shatter hits 3, but Aussie and PK0 have already both found 1. It's a 5v3 in favor of Unkstack, and PK0 was able to get one of those picks on Diva as Baby Diva. It's kind of crazy. It's just really a little bit of spam damage in there. Aussie looking for the on. I can't really go into that small enclosed room though. Don't want to overextend here for Onksack, but Quetzalcoatl coming in with Coalescence and Override Protocol. It's going to be very dangerous here for PK0. Their brand's going to have to put all their resources here into the Emrai. And here we go. It's going to be both ults. The Emrai going to get the beat forced out just because of the Override Protocol's potential fear factor. Allegra gets picked off. Gabe gets one. Aussie gets another. Everyone's falling low here for the Onksack. I think it might be over for this fight. Aussie half HP, gonna try to get the Emrai. Half HP, put on the moves. PK0 comes in with the assist, gets boop. There was a flipper IPE Quetzalcoatl. And now PK0 going to live a little longer, drops the bomb. Gonna try to get away from the Reinhardt as quick as possible. There's now 35% accounting here on the point for IPE Quetzalcoatl. PK0 gonna get picked off early before they try to remake. Pleb's now onto the life from now, by the way, for a little more sustainability. It's going to be a mini point flip there by Austin from the side of Onkstack. 90% accounting, but that's all they're going to really get, a few extra percent. And it does force out Shan's duplicate on the Echo. They dupe the Tracer. They're going to get a pulse bomb, but don't think it's going to really find anything. They're just going to go for a lob. But it hits the wall. And now it's going to be a pulse bomb online for the Onkstack, and that's the only ult in this fight, potentially. 2 fights left to go, or 1 super long one to finish out this first round on Village for the ball. There's gonna be Phoenix falling low already, but this Emre here from Boop does have a good angle, but they're getting marked out. They're getting all the care in the world, so they eventually get picked up by the micro missiles from PK0. It's gonna be 72% now. Last fight territory, Austin gets 1, PK0 gets the cleanup, and now it's a 2v5. Onksack trying their best to survive, but it's gonna be a pulse bomb to the Reinhardt. They block it. But it's only one person left to touch. It was Shan, and PK0 gets the cleanup. No touch for IPE Quetzalcoatl. And Onkstack will be taking round 1 on Village. But that was very close. Just a few unfortunate, like, early picks that happened for Quetzalcoatl. You swing out, you lost one early to Austin and the Baby Diva Blaster, actually. So, that'll be round 1 going to Onkstack. But now we're going over to... I can't remember the name of this one. Unfortunate. It is the giant pillar in the middle. It's the one with the giant pillar in the middle and the elephant statue for those who know. And now we do see the current adaptation of Shrine. Okay, cool. Thank you, producer. As it's going to be Plebs taking into this Weaver, and I do think I like the Weaver pick a little bit. I mean, yes, there is. Oh wait, there's also a swap to the Cat, with Boop going over to the May as well, or we're going to a little more brawly style. Maybe a little more poke as well. Now with Count Moira, there's going to be a lot of mobility here for the side of IPE Quetzalcoatl. You're going to be able to move around really quickly and hit Gabe wherever he really wants to go on the right hand. Unfortunately though, your shield's getting burst down very quickly. You're going to have to just try and survive. And it's going to be a matter of Quetzalcoatl to make sure the resources don't get forced out too much here. Because once you run out of cooldowns on this type of comp, you kind of are able to get run down a little bit by the hyper aggression of the Lucio Diva Tracer. And Aussie's already able to they already found Boop in this fight. Tracer already gets 1, Aussie has to use a recall. They're trying to survive. IPE Quetzalcoatl did get the first cap. And Club's able to find Austin. Now it's 4v4. The Reinhardt touches to keep this point going, but there is a flip by the Onkstack. The Reinhardt 1 HP here, gets the Immortality Field. PK0 is able to get the pick though. Actually, the enemy maps used through the lamp there. And now it's 10% accounting here for the Onkstack with a Pulse Bomb online and a Amplification Matrix. And Gabe is going to be going over to the Roadhog now for a little more individuality here. For this comp for Quetzalcoatl, it seems like they're going to try to be adapting to a more self-sustained centric style, where you're just going to be able to move around and kind of Pleb will be able to help whoever they need, and you kind of just have Phoenix stick with Boop, have like a little mini like team there. Because you're able to find Gabe early, and the Amplification Matrix is able to burn down anyone who's walking here to the left side of the map. Like was able to find Phoenix. Now 40% in counting, and it's looking a little rough ult-wise for the side of Quetzalcoatl. You are getting close to a Coalescence and Duplicate, but that's really about it. The Catnap could be good, but there's a lot of members of the Young Pack who could chase it down potentially. As Gabe can go over to the right side again, look for an angle. Going to get marked out early here by Allegra on the Sojourn, but they look for the hook. They get it! They hook PK0, they try to boost away, but they get bursted really early. They don't have their mech yet. So if you can pick up that even early, it'd be huge. And here comes Coalescence from Phoenix. The Pulse Bomb from Austin is a win. The Colossus is going to keep everyone alive here for IPE Quetzalcoatl. Bomb comes out, the Immortality Field as well, but no one's going to die on either side. The Blizzard trying to get a confirmed kill somehow. Catnap doesn't even find anything. Allegro though pops the overclock, finds Shan. Looking for more. They're able to get Phoenix with the help of PK0, but Boom able to get Allegro, and now it's a 2v4 in favor of the Young Stack. 90% to go, and if Game dies now, I don't think we'll get another touch. Club goes down as well. The Hog falls. And for Nepal, I think that might be a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Shan has a duplicate to touch for a stall, or at least for a little bit. They duplicate the Diva to get as much sustainability as possible. They try to kill Allegro. Allegro gets to be able to Lucio and Diva. They're trying to spread long and possibly get back on the Reinhardt for going back as fast as they can here, just with the charge. This should be the feed from I Forgot, along with the Amplification Matrix from Tokotoro. Just to put as much pressure as possible here onto the side of Quetzalcoatl. And the Young Stack are just going to be shooting through, get the Reinhardt, get the May. And they're going to be able to clean out the map. 2-0 on Nepal. Giving them the first map in the series pretty nicely. You did have a few struggles there on round 1. Where it's just you got a little overzealous, and I think Quetzalcoatl could really utilize that in the upcoming maps, where, I mean, PK0 has gone a little far, sometimes along with Aussie, and after that initial, like, dive from the Demon Tracer, you should have a good opportunity to kind of run it down on the Rhine, and try to get to that backline a little. But for now, that's the Paul, and let's quickly look to the map pool. Let's try to just let's see, chat. Let's try to debate on what potentially could be picked here by Quetzalcoatl, because we already used their Kiriko ban, which was really good to at least try to slow down the side of Luxac. There we go. Sorry, picking names. And so, what the Kiri back in play is going to leave you in a little bit of a rougher spot if you are Quetzalcoatl, but you could theoretically ban the Diva and take him to a brawlier map where you could play this Reinhardt style, or maybe somewhere where you can at least get a little more open with the Roadhog. And I feel like something like a New Junk City or an Atlas, maybe even Push, you could get something close to that, like maybe a Runa Sapi, a new Queen Street, where if you ban the Diva, it puts PK0 in a lot more rough scenarios here to play. Like, the Winston isn't as good as it used to be back in the day, and along with running into a Reinhardt or a Hog is a little difficult for any real dive tank to get in there, besides the Diva, who has all that armor, who has the defense matrix. So I really think you take them to somewhere where you can out-tempo them on, like, a flashpoint, and go something super quick with, like, a Moira, and like you have a flanking Ana be like a sacrificial lamb type of thing, where you can go for the Ana anti-nade and just send it. I currently really just don't have a good idea, because I don't think you want to go to the hybrid or escort, and if you do, I'd say actually scratch the Diva ban for the if you go to push or flashpoint. I feel like if you go flashpoint or push, you could ban the Lucio and kind of put it more to your own terms, get rid of the speed boost from the side of the Unkstack. You could force him to the Juno, but Juno's a lot more flimsy and more susceptible to like the Ana NATO Moira tracking her down. So if you could save that Diva ban for a hybrid or an escort, that could be big, just because of how vertical and like rotate heavy those types of maps are. So I'd say here's my prediction for the caster. I'm gonna say either something like something in Flashpoint or Push. That's what I'm narrowing it down to. If I was gonna pick a specific map on each, I would say Runa Sapi for Push and Atlas for Flashpoint. We're just gonna have to see, as map 2 is actually gonna be Numbani. Okay, that is out of left field for me. We could see a little more poke coming in. Maybe a little like goofy. You ban the Diva here potentially, and you could get some value out of like maybe a long range cat. You get a lot more value out of the Ana, I will say. The Ana does get a lot of value, but there is no Diva ban coming in from Quetzalcoatl. They're actually going to ban the Sojourn, targeting probably Allegro there. I do find it odd though that you ban the Sojourn when you can also just swap over to the Emre for the side of Unsec, but I do like Quetzalcoatl's idea of at least slowing down the horizontal mobility at least a little bit, and raise a little more vertical. Like with his jump and his grenade jumps, I could see how it's a little easier to handle, but also the raw constant damage of just like the burst rifle is a little scary. And we do see the ban from Unsec actually being the Roadhog. So and we've seen gameplay Roadhog a good amount, at least from what I've heard, at least a little bit in this first map. We saw a little more of the Rhine, so forcing them to either go to the Reinhardt or adapt to another tank that they're probably not as comfortable on as something like Numbani, where it's a really difficult map to push through as is. It's going to be very interesting to see. I mean, we could see like some Metro Reinhardt strats potentially TP to the point, try to do what they can. We're going to have to see how this one plays out. And I'm just gonna check for any swaps. Nope, not one. And so for Unsec here, I'm gonna just be assuming they're going to be going back to the bread and butter so far, the Diva comp. Because they don't even swap off in Nepal, which is normally a more brawl-dominated type of map that they can control. And we do see Gabe actually go over to the Winston. So it's going to be a little interesting here. I'm going to read out these comps to everyone. You have Boop and Shan on Ash and Torbjorn, respectively, for the DPS. It's going to be a lot more poke-centric, with Pleb and Phoenix on the Ana and Mercy. A little more poke, and along with the nades, is going to be nice. And Gabe's on the Winston to at least clear some of these high ground angles. But for Unsec, it's going to be Austie on the Tracer, PK0 on the Diva. But now Ivergot's going to the Bastion. This is the Jetpack Cat. And Allegro's going to the Bastion. I think they're gonna go for the Bastion Cat plane, just rain bullets from above, and then there's also Tokotoro on the Kiriko to prevent any of the antibiotic grenades from really getting as much value, just because you have Suzu. Also, for quick press control, get rid of the name cards. Thank you. And now it's going to be Unsec looking for the initial engage early here. It's got to try and clear the high ground here, putting pressure quickly onto Gabe. T0 is already falling very low. Good pressure from Boop and Shan. As a turret from Shan is broken early, I forgot trying to flank with Austie as that's possible. Where the Tracer gets slapped! And Austie actually gets the recall and gets away. PK0 going for a very greedy walk up here to the other high ground. Gonna fall very low. Shan has used their overload very quickly. They fall low down another turret line. Plevy uses the biotic grenade, does not find a target, and Allegro is able to get the Ana. The Bastion is now in still the high ground. Yeah, just being able to rain bullets. Tokotoro is able to get Shan, and now it's gonna be really rough to touch here because anyone that tries is just gonna be hitting it by a wall of Bastion bullets. I mean, Allegro was already close to this artillery strike. You are getting close to a bomb though for Boop, but there will be no touch attempt from Quetzalcoatl. We have 5 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock here for Unsec on this attack so far. They just capped first. And Phoenix is getting close to the Valkyrie, but Pleb is able to trade for Austie, so it's a 4v4. With the artillery strike trying to swing the odds in Unsec's favor. Forcing out Boop, but they get away. The Diva putting as much pressure in as possible because Zero goes in very aggressively. But they are not able to get the pick. Good care there from Quetzalcoatl. Now you have a Bob to go in this next fight, which I think will be very good. Like, even against the Bastion, it'll take at least 5 seconds for this Bob to go down, roughly. And it'll at least help with the Jetpack Cat, just like mobility a little bit. So you can't just sit in the sky if there's a Bob in the field, auto aim, a very high DPS output. So it's going to be Gabe quickly trying to clear out because you're here on Diva. Diva getting a lot of care. They have a nice angle here, and Gabe's kind of split off. Phoenix is able to pop the Valkyrie here. Minutes been burned at the clock, and the Bob's coming in hot. Going to go for a quick uppercut. Does not hit it though. And Boop Bob is able to find one. It eventually goes down, but that's what I said. You can still get so much value out of a few seconds of Bob getting to pick up any low HP stragglers. And now Gabe able to clean up and force Unsec back to their spawn doors a little bit. 4 minutes left to go on the clock. Allegro falling low. And now Quetzalcoatl can get into a really good position here with their ultimate cycling here. Because both supports for Unsec and Gabe gets pulsed by Austin. I was gonna say they have the bolt home there. And that pulse is huge. That's gonna be able to burst down Gabe with the help of Allegro. That's gonna be an early rush chance. Able to get Aussie still 4v4. And Boop gets, I forgot. And it might be winnable here. Boop gets the nano just to survive. The nano ash on the field. And now, I mean, Allegro's falling low. Boop. They actually survived too. It's a 4v3. Very good survivability there from the side of Quetzalcoatl there. Survive this bomb from PK0. But the bubble's gonna keep him at bay. That could be a primal rage from the Winston. Looking for more. Boop gets PK0. Holds the core on the point to make sure no one can do anything on that point. And that's a very heavy investment from Quetzalcoatl, but you keep the second point defense on Numbani going. Numbani second, very rough to go through, even if you are the Jetpack Cat Diva, because of how long it takes to get through this map, or at least this part of it. Allegro already has the artillery strike back on play, along with I Forgot Catnap, probably going to go on to Boop or Shan, maybe even Phoenix from the Mercy. 3 minutes left to go, though. And now with Quetzalcoatl having such good high ground positioning, with a Mercy boosted Ash, a lot of constant pressure you have to worry about, along with the Torb turret. Is going to be the Bastion, although trying to clear something off the high ground. They're going for Boop. The Ash trying to survive. And last shot, unfortunately, hits the top of the high ground. Phoenix getting closer and closer to Valkyrie, but Pleb goes down. Allegro able to burn him down. I think they're up with the cat in the skies. Gabe gonna get bursted on well. Allegro finds 2, finds 3. The Terraform was just on the cart. Vittorio gets Phoenix. And the Bastion is able to win Unkstack that fight and that point. Now we have 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. On third point, Numbani for Unkstack's attack. You still have a pulse bomb online. PK0 though is down his mech. Gabe goes over the Reinhardt now for more brawl, more sustainability. It's a lot more of a flat of a point. Allegro falling low, and now it's just gonna be a matter of swinging corners super hard here. Shane gets finds a very nice opening pick. Headshot onto Tokadoro. It's going to be Allegro trying to clear up the Ash or Terraform. Not gonna happen. Good defense picture from PK0 to keep Allegro alive. But that's just gonna be able to rotate away. But yeah, no kills are gonna be found from exactly that fight. Quetzalcoatl though is coming up with the Bob, Valkyrie, and Nano Boost. So anyone who walks in for Unkstack here is in a very scary predicament, especially if that Nano goes on to Gabe. Because Tokotoro is getting close to a Consumer Rush here, yes, but also a Nano Boosted Reinhardt's gonna do like 170 damage a swing? Probably, I think my math is correct on that. If we can find another quick headshot onto Austin, PK0 gets put away by the Bob, uppercut into the skies. And now, 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. Unkstack has to disengage once again. That was only one ult to burn around 30 seconds off the clock. Unkstack has 4 ults online. I Forgot could go for a very aggressive grab with the Catnap, but nothing yet. I think what's going to really happen here is that Quetzalcoatl are going to play for Shan ult and 4, or potentially the Nano Boost. Tibia Allegro going with the artillery strike, trying to get Austin in as well. Pulse Pump goes on to Boop. The Mercy's trying to get away. They pop the Valkyrie, and they are able to survive. They're getting the res. That's a whole nother deal. The Catnap goes in. I don't think they got shielded off by Gabe. Good shield there from the Reinhardt. 2 minutes left to go, and this cart's turned the last corner it needs. And Gabe goes in super early, getting burst up by the Diva and the Bastion form. That turret hurts a whole lot, and Phoenix gets nanoed. The Mercy gets nanoed, ladies and gentlemen. They're just trying to survive, use something here. They're trying to carry Boop as much as they can. Shan pops the multi-core to get rid of point a little bit. The turret also bringing some help in, but also they'll break it. PK0 getting closer and closer to this bomb. And now Tokotoro has a rush to push this the cart to the final stretch. Boop goes over the corner now for a little more movement and sustainability. Gabe getting closer and closer to the shatter. Looks 20% away. PK0 is running in. They get pinned. PK0 gets pinned. The bomb comes out, but Allegro already found 2. Finds 3. The turret gets, I Forgot, from Shan. But the cart will be capped with 1 minute and 31 seconds on the clock for the side of Unkstack's attack. So now, it's just going to be up to the defense here for Unkstack and IPE Quetzalcoatl's adaptability here coming in. If you can get a few, like, sneaky plays out of the way early and get first point, that'd be huge. And once you can do that, you can get your DPS set up. Boop has been a very good threat this map so far. And once you can get them set up, I feel like you'll be in a very good position here. Unfortunately for the side of Gabe here, who's been trying to play the Winston, it's just really rough to run into the Diva and Bastion, but we will see a few swap ups here. It's just the DPS line for Unkstack switching up, and it's just going to be actually, never mind, I lied. Is that, oh wait, Aussie actually is going over to the Ash, but that is the only swap for Unkstack. And now for the side of IPE Quetzalcoatl, it's going to be Boop going over to the Cassidy. Shan is staying on the Torbjorn. Gabe's going back to the Reinhardt here. Phoenix is on the Ana, and now we see Pleb on the Lucio. I did not take Quetzalcoatl for very much of a Lucio team, but I do think having this with the Reinhardt comp to rotate around with, it's going to basically be taxi around Cassidy simulator, you know? Gonna be running around, amping, shielding your Cassidy while Boop is trying to get a lot of angles, a lot of damage out early while Phoenix tries to go for the biotic grenades. It's actually gonna be a quick speed boost down under the bottom left mega room. They're actually gonna try to speed onto Allegro, but they're taking so much damage. The shield is just not there from Gabe. Gabe tries to walk past, but his team could not survive the onslaught of damage coming in from Allegro and Asti. And that's gonna be a quick first fight because he actually gets a boop kill on the Shan with the boosters. That's 30 seconds off the clock. And going through this little engage here, it's gonna be a little rough because Ongstack basically has all three, almost all these angles covered. You have the high ground initially, you have the underside of the mega room, and the potential right side of the point can be covered too, just because Bastion and Ash are already there. Gabe's gonna run in and go for the early shield. 3 minutes. Allegro going with the aggressive terraform, not able to find a single thing though. It's going to be Quetzalcoatl going for the quick rotate back around to the right side. Actually, they're just gonna go for it. But Gabe once again charges in, not able to really. They're gonna clear space. It almost gets Aussie, but PK0 and Allegro just have a lot of constant uptime here damage. Just because they're not having to worry about this Rhine shield against the rest of the team, they can just walk it down. PK0 is able to get 3, maybe 3? I mean, Shan's gonna get picked off at the end. Now it's 2 minutes 40 seconds on the clock. It's going to be artillery strike online for Allegro and maybe bomb for PK0, but that's going to be roughly it so far. As IPE Quetzalcoatl, not close to. Actually, no, they do have a nano boost on the way in 25%. And now you're already halfway through this round. You're not being really able to find a hold. The only issue with this Reinhardt composition, I'd say, is just you all have to play as a group. And here comes the artillery strike early. And with like playing with a group, it's really hard to get angle. Like Numbani is so angle dependent, and the artillery strike hits Pleb on top of the head. If only that, I feel like Fashionable should be able to headshot. You know, just drop someone on someone's dome. It should work. But now that's gonna delay Ongsak by like 15. No, Ongsak, Quetzalcoatl by 15 seconds here. As now Aussie's gonna get close to this self-destruct. I forgot's gonna get close to the catnap. That's a good just stun tool and chaotic. Well, chaos causer. There we go. I didn't really think of the word. Now Gabe's gonna be running in, shielding off the Bastion form. And it's just so much damage though. Because Zero goes in, it's gonna be the catnap. The nano boost went on to Boop. They get burned down. It's gonna be a quick cleanup for Allegro on PK0. Minute 30 left on the clock. Pleb trying to get away. Door is broken. And you do use another ult there for Ongstack. And Allegro's getting close to another artillery strike, but you are at least forcing out ults here if you are Quetzalcoatl. Gabe's gonna go back to the Winston, Shan's gonna go over to the Echo, and Phoenix is going over to the Mercy. So now it's gonna be a little more dive heavy, trying to potentially get something value here at the noon while the rest of the team dives in. It was a nice nade from Pleb there to get Tokotoro, but not much was going found with it. Tokotoro though falling low, PK0 slept Allegro, find Chan, behind noon, does get I forgot, the Kiriko's 1 HP as well, but Allegro is able to bodyguard this Kiriko for a long time. Gabe was able to get Aussie, you do get 2 for Quetzalcoatl, you should be able to get back super quick. But now it's looking rough because, I mean, Ongstack has 4 ults, and PK0 just was able to stagger the Ana on Pleb. So you're going to have a really rough touch, probably down a support for the initial half of this. As Boop goes over the Tracer for a little more mobility, trying to probably also just get a point for the touch. Being able to res Pleb, denying a little bit of the stagger time. It's going to be an early artillery check from Allegro here trying to find something, and if you do touch, you have to worry about the Bob. The Ana gets nuked. Old Lady Leg can't run that fast. And now it's going to be a Bob from, no Bob from Aussie actually. Gabe gets the early pick. It's going to be a rush to the point for the architect. It's going to be Tokotoro though, going down. Chan and Boop are able to get 2. And now it's a 5v3. PK0 is able to get Gabe. The Diva could just clear point with a Diva bomb. And there it is. PK0 is trying to survive. The bomb does not get anyone. Phoenix go 1 HP. I forgot the cat is able to get 1 pick before going back down. And now PK0, with the help of Shan, actually killing themselves with their own sticky bombs. Allegro comes back, gets Pleb. There is going to be almost a tick on the point here. But the full is eaten by PK0. And now, somehow miraculously, the Ongstack were able to get the hold. They were able to pick off 3, but I forgot was able to get a pick because Zero was able to get 2. And it was just really good sustain there from the Diva and the Jetpack Cat to send Ongstack to match point, which with a very dominant Numbani, mind you. That's basically a full hold with over a minute cap. It was just really rough for Gabe to do anything there for Quetzalcoatl just because of the Bastion pressure, along with, I mean, the support line for Unkstack was very rough to get to in general. But for now, it's match point Unkstack, and our only match of the night, our Div 2 match, last match of week 2. And for now, just gonna take a quick break, go to the bathroom, get your water, get your snacks. We'll be coming back in around 5 minutes as we're going to a short bio break. We'll be back momentarily. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today's Div 2 match is at match point already. And map 3 has been decided. And we are going to Esperanza, ladies and gentlemen. And there will be a swap coming in as well. For the Unksack, they will be putting in automatic for Tokotoro. And so far, yep, you didn't really miss. Well, for those tuning in, what you've missed, Div 2's match, Unkstack versus IPE Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl plays some very interesting comps, but it was looking very good for them in the first map. But after Numbani, it's been dominant for the Unkstack, leading this to a match point as we go to Esperanza. And so far, our bans, from what I can see, PK0 has been very difficult to deal with right now in the Diva, just because of how much survivability that character has. So the Diva will be being banned for the side of IPE Quetzalcoatl, trying to nerf down PK0 a little bit, make him play a little more uncomfortable. And then the Unkstack will be banning Ana, because Pleb has been notoriously playing a lot of the Ana so far tonight, and it's been very, honestly, it's been very sneaky dangerous, I'd say. Ana nades are, like, inherently scary. Just not being able to be healed is a problem, obviously. But now the comps are going to be coming out for our potential last map of the night, and it's going to be... Oh boy, we got an interesting matchup today. So, for IPE, Quetzalcoatl, we have Boop on the Amray, Shan on the Echo, Gabe on the Winston, Phoenix on Mercy, and Pleb on the Lifeweaver to keep that little sustain going. And then Unkstack has a full run down in your face comp with Allegra on the Sombra, Aussie on the Reaper, PK0 on the Maga. I forgot on the Jetpack Cat to carry around, probably said Maga, and Automatic on the Moira. Now, I do think you have to be very worried if you're Gabe on the Winston, because a lot of that is probably to beat up Gabe. Because Reaper Maga is also, it's a very high sustain comp. Very, like, if you just sit down and do nothing, you can't really dive them, just because of how much spam damage is at their disposal. But now it's going to be, Unkstack are just going to set on the point and wait for Quetzalcoatl to make a move. Allegro's just going to get set up on the Stomper, try to find an opening pick onto Shan. Not going to happen, though. The best bet here for IP Quetzalcoatl is probably just to try to get an opening pick onto Allegro or force out PK0 cooldowns early. Maga's going to mess up the run, running into the pot. Maybe a quick bubble. Austin gets away, everyone falling low here for Unkstack. And Quetzalcoatl are looking pretty good in this fight. Boop already has the override protocol in line. It's only been a minute. They're gonna get dove out very quickly though. PK0 and Aussie are going to get 2. Gabe gets 1. PK0 gets the cleanup. And it almost, I really thought Quetzalcoatl was gonna win that one because you almost had the override protocol. But now, the Maga, Reaper, and Sombra were able to just put a lot of pressure on it early. With how, like, tightly knit this Maga comp is, a lot of them are able to build around the same ult charge around the same time. So a lot of the supports for Unkstack here are going to have both their ult aligned. And then for IP Quetzalcoatl, you're in close to the Valkyrie, and you have an override protocol. But now, we do see a swap to the Roadhog for Gabe, which I feel like is a little... I don't know how to feel about it, per se. Because, Roadhog by himself, not a bad character. But running into the the Maga Reaper, a lot more scary. Aussie, by the way, was able to pick up Boop, a nice early stagger in this fight, as Unkstack almost already captured the checkpoint on Esperanza. Gabe just gonna have to run off, getting pulled out by the Lifeweaver. 2 minutes off the clock. It's going to be a very quick Emerald. Gonna just try to find an opening target. I forgot is trying to duel the Emerald in the skies. Jetpack Cat can somehow duel the guy with a giant gun on his arm. Boop, though, does find automatic as 5v4 now for the side of Quetzalcoatl. Boop didn't get pulled to the high ground. Now look, you're looking in a pretty good spot as Gabe's trying to find an opening tuck onto the Maga here. Aussie goes into the deathlock and gets traded up by Pleb. So 1-for-1, PK0 though, gonna get picked off. Boop reses Phoenix. And Bot's gonna be just sitting there for a little bit, and Unkstack are finally gonna fall down with PK0 and I forgot falling. Allegra also might suffer the same fate. Oh no, they got the last second TP before getting hooked. 3 minutes burned off the clock. Unkstack, I don't think they were able to get the checkpoint, if I'm correct there. No. Alright, yeah, they did not get the checkpoint. as both teams are going to be moving. Allegro getting caught out early here, but not picked off. They do have the EMP cage ready. Shen's going to get hacked. Allegro just going to get away. And it gets tracked down by Boop. Nice little burst of headshots there on the Sombra to deny a lot of value in this fight. It's going to be 2 Roadhogs in the cage, though. Shen pops a duplicate on the Maga. The tree blocks the duplicated hook, actually. The PKs are getting burned down a little bit. But nonetheless, there's still a Maga cage in here. It's going to be automatic popping the Coalescence, maybe a little too late as it get hooked by Shen. And now it's 2 whole hogs. Very scary. And I think Quetzalcoatl will actually be able to get the checkpoint capture here. I forgot's going to get staggered. And then you have an EMP catnap online for Unkstack. And maybe a override protocol for the side of the Emerald. And there will be the point captured. Okay, I guess Unkstack did get the cap. And it's going to be Gabe getting Dynamite early. They get solo EMP, they get pulled too, everything. And also with the recent patch notes, Weaver Pull does have a permanent cleanse ability now. It's not just like the perk. And now the pocketed override protocol is back. It's going to be nuking everyone, including Aussie, including Allegro. And the Emre is just really, really tough to deal with. There's now 5.5 minutes on the clock. Going to be I guess we're pushing very hard here. Boop gets a nice pick on automatic, and Unkstack are just trying to survive at this point. They're running out of resources, running out of people. PKs are gonna try to run away, but there's a Roadhog looking for a nice little hook, going some fishing. Finds Austin, PKs gets staggered down. And now Bot is in lead of Quetzalcoatl. With 5 minutes left to go, they are at 70 meters and counting. Unkstack only has a Catnap and potentially a Blossom on their way. Phoenix is the Valkyrie. Gabe has the Whole Hog, and Pleb has the Tree. So there's a lot of sustain coming up for the side of Quetzalcoatl. Has kind of probably come down to, I forgot, dodging a hook and trying to kidnap someone. But Quetzalcoatl are going to play the waiting game and make Unkstack actually try to do something. They're just going to sit on the high ground here. They don't care about the bot progress since they're already in the lead. And Shen's going to be able to pick off Allegro, who goes for the early engage to the high ground and gets picked off. So now 4.5 minutes left to go. Unkstack are just going to try to survive. They have to run away. Bot's going to get a little extra meter as the rest of Quetzalcoatl kind of just sits on the high ground. Gabe tries to push the bot a little bit, go for an early hook, something to those likes. Besides that, though, you're just playing sit-down wait simulator. Gabe does not get the hook, and it looks like PK0 is getting ready to go on the high ground here with the rest of Unkstack. Potentially, the Roadhog's going to the bot here. I forgot's going to try to stall for a little bit. PK0 goes up there, but there's not enough support. The tree there is just too much, so no Maga can get a kill. And now the Maga is going to die. Unkstack falling low. Pleb gets 2 on the Weaver. And yeah, it's going to be another cleanup. And now Quetzalcoatl is moving very, very dangerously close here to the end of the map on Esperanza. Less than 4 minutes now on the clock. You used both supportals though, so it's a little risky. You can still pocket Boop here when they go for this override protocol. Oh, and I forgot, they go for the catnap, but they get hooked! And there's a pull on to Gabe too. The cat here is just really rough, because you can't really do a lot with the whole catnap, because you can get hooked, or whoever you grab could get pulled by the Life Weaver. So now Unkstack not really able to make a move. Once again, they're just trying to wait this out. If you can break this hold, you'll be in a very good spot, but for now, it's seeming really difficult. Yeah, we close to the Whole Hog. Both DPS are still online as well. Aussie looking for the next teleport onto the backline with a Death Blossom in hand. It's gonna be the cage, using it as a shield actually. It's gonna be a duplicated Maga in the cage, but Boop gets burned down in the sky. It's gonna be Allegro's overclock with the help of automatics. Coalescence. Allegro trying to get Phoenix here on the Mercy, but there's a Hog running for him. PK0 is alive and going to burn down Gabe to make sure he will not live to see another day. Where they get pulled by the Weaver. And there's a Whole Hog on the way. PK0 just trying to survive with so much damage. The Echo focusing beam is scary. PK0 is going to run in. Going to burn down the Mercy of the tree though. Gonna keep him alive. Allegro is able to find 2 in this fight. And now it's Pleb and the supports. Aussie goes with the Blossom, but it's in a tree. It's not going to be able to do a whole lot. Boop's back now on the Emre. Already 20% to another override protocol, and now they're trying to run away. You have a double slide, but there's still a Roadhog chasing you down. You go to the bot, you try to burn down the Roadhog, you get a mortality field, but Boop finds automatic. Now 2 minutes left to go, and the Unkstack are in a very perilous situation. We see a few swaps coming in. I forgot to ignore the Baptiste, and PK0 is over to the Arisa now. There's a lot more poke, it's a lot more brawl. Well, actually, not a lot more brawl. Maury was definitely more brawly, but off the cat now, which is just a little more damage overall. Aussie going to survive the initial hit, and I forgot Allegro get two out of nowhere. Phoenix hits the boop. Aussie will survive and distract the people on bot, but they get picked up by Gabe. And now it's a matter of Ungstack cleaning up these kills and then going to bot to catch it in a second. Boop potentially might get staggered though, that could be huge. And actually, they get traded with Phoenix's spawn time. Now, Gabe, the lone Roadhog, gonna get picked off super late here, but it's really fine in big reality of things. Pleb went for the aggressive Weaver pull, and Shang went in as well, and that actually staggers the 3 members of Quetzalcoatl. And now, I mean, Ungstack is gonna have to go up super quick to the high ground because you still have those fast spawns because of Gabe being able to really get the value to taking that bot while Ungstack were, you know, trying to pick off the rest of Quetzalcoatl. It's only going to be a potential Valkyrie for the side of Quetzalcoatl in this fight. Well, you're getting close to pretty much everything from the side of Ungstack besides your Death Blossom. 45 seconds left to go, potentially 2 fights. You just have to worry about the damage a little bit. Sham's trying to find a pick, and they do on the automatic. Plug I forgot to, and there's so many angles to deal with. The bot's being moved, but PK0 is low, and now it's 30 seconds left to go. And all of Ungstack has fallen. And now with a 60-meter lead, roughly, I mean, Quetzalcoatl should be able to take this one in the bag and potentially take map 3 and send this one into a reverse sweep situation, potentially. 20 seconds left to go. You have 5 ults for Quetzalcoatl. You'll need something huge here from Ungstack to combat it. PK0 is going to try to find Pleb, but whoever goes onto the cart, I mean, there's a Roadhog, there's going to be a Weaver tree, it's just going to be so much. And PK0 kind of put himself in no man's land, gets the person down, maybe an Amplification Matrix, kills Gabe. Now it's going to be an Overclock. The Override Protocol goes to the sky, but Allegro's Overclock should be able to counteract it. The Allegro falling low is going to be the call. Well, that's every ult on the field for Ungstack, besides the Terror Surge, but the Arisa's dead. And now it's the duplicated Baptiste for Shan. Gabe pops to whole hog and just oinking his way to get everyone off the point. Aussie goes down. And so does automatic. PK0 goes in with the Terror Surge. Plug gets hit with the Javelin. And the Arisa gets hit with the pedal. And yeah, that's gonna be map 3. Going to Quetzalcoatl. And pretty dominantly too. I mean, after like the first half, sure, you could say it's sided for Ungstack, but after that, I mean, after they got control of the high ground, you literally like couldn't do anything if you were the Ungstack. I mean, Quetzalcoatl just sat back and let Boop do his thing. But that was on your map pick and on your map bans, especially with that Diva now being gone. Well, the Diva being back in play, I'd say you're in for a very dangerous scenario here for the side of for the side of Quetzalcoatl. I mean, like, because no, Diva's back in play. You can't ban her again. It's going to be quite difficult. And if we go to the maps here, we have Flashpoint and Hybrid left, where Diva's very heavily, actually not Hybrid, Escort and Flashpoint left. So one of those, I feel like if you could go to like Rialto, play the Diva, it could be big. Or you could just go to something like the Flashpoint, maybe the Saravasa, and ban out the Reinhardt. Ban out the Reinhardt. You've already banned the Roadhog, so you could just ban the other tank. Or maybe something, you could ban the Mercy. I legitimately think you could ban the Mercy here. Just don't let Boop get a pocket. But no, we're just gonna have to go to the maps, and I can't really think of potential bans. Because I mean, like, I say Mercy for the side of maybe Ungstack, and yeah, because we have 6 maps left to choose from. It's 1-2 Quetzalcoatl. You're still on the back foot, and it's now Ungstack's map pick. So they could take you to where they know your weaknesses, which I'd say is something like a Route 66 where you can't move around, or even Havana with just a pure poke. But I feel like Havana you can get away with a lot more gimmicks than anything. So I'd say Route 66, or maybe even like maybe a Suravasa. It's a little more open for the head scan for Boop, but you could also just use it to make sure Gabe can't really take any important space on the Roadhog or Reinhardt. or even the 110 if they go for it. And it will actually be a Suravasa pick for the Unk stack going into map number 4. So I think I think I might be right on my theory here. They just want to play open and make sure the hog can't really get a lot of space because you want to take the flashpoint away while you're in control of it. And I do see the bans coming in. It'll be a Reinhardt ban from the Unk stack, and Quetzalcoatl is undecided. But I do agree with this Reinhardt ban. Like I was saying, you could just ban the Reinhardt to make Gabe either forced to play this Roadhog or go something akin to the Winston where it's a little rough for them to play. And yeah, that'll be coming into Saravasa. And uh, one moment later, I just need a second to breathe. I have water still. Heck yeah. Um, it seems we have two players potentially DC'd in the lobby, so for now, I'll just leave you with a quick 2 minutes as we go into map number 4 momentarily. Yeah. So we'll be back momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. We just have a quick DC. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back coming in to map number 4 of this series. As see a potential reverse sweep on the horizon here for IPE Quetzalcoatl as we come into map number 4, Suravasa, with the bands being a Reinhardt from the side of the Unkstack. And I actually don't know the other band. Um, we'll find out. Oh, it's a Lucio band. Okay, so we will be having no speed today, none at all, as the Diva has been re-unlocked for PK0, who, I mean, the Diva's putting on some numbers on Numbani, the map before Esperanza. So there is a big potential for PK0 to go back to the Diva like we've seen, and kind of just run down Quetzalcoatl here potentially. And, so yeah, map 4 will be Saravasa. For those who are uninformed, we are coming back after a very nice Esperanza from IP Quetzalcoatl. They were able to take their first map of the series against Unkstack down to 0. So they're trying to drag themselves out of this hole for potential map 5 situation for a reverse sweep. As we are in Div 2 right now in the playoffs of week 2. And we have a swap coming in for the Unkstack once again. And now it's going to be a completely new support line this time as well, with Tokotoro in as they were before. Actually, no, Tokotoro is in for I Forgot, and now Otter is in as well. So you have I Forgot is just not in anymore. He is gone. Rest in peace. And that'll be the only swap as we come into map number 4. And here we go. Reinhardt band going to try to force Gabe on to this hog here for IPE Quetzalcoatl. Maybe the monkey on the Winston. Maybe the Winston. I don't know. Potentially. Boop. We could see this Emray from coming out from Boop again, though. It was able to do a lot of work on Esperanza. It was a very more high ground oriented map, so we will see an adaptation here from Quetzalcoatl. We're going to see Boop going over to the Sojourn, Shan on the Torbjorn, Phoenix on the Moira, and Gabe on the Hog. Pretty standard stuff for this team, which is weird to say. And then for Unkstack, it's going to be Automatic on the Mercy, Tokotoro on the Kiriko, PK0 on the Domina. We have not seen Domina at all today, so this is going to be an interesting one. Austin on the Symmetra for the TP, and then Allegro on the Emray. So we're probably going to see a pocket Emray of Unkstack's own here, actually, which I'm quite excited to see, as Aussie's going to go over to the Tracer, which is going to be a little rough, actually, because Shan's on the Torbjorn. Turrets are not very fun for 175 HP no armor characters like Tracer. Fun fact. And now it's going to be basically just a poke style here from the side of Unkstack. They're just going to try to clear what they can with the Dominus shots. Clears out Phoenix, clears out Boop. It's going to be a quick engage here. Now for the side of Unkstack. It's going to be a quick hook, but Allegro does not go down the Mercy Pocket. You know, it's very nice to have. A lot of healing, a lot of damage boost. Torpil pulling low here for Shan. Allegro's able to pick up Boop. One was already been captured, by the way, by the Unkstack. Allegro's just able to farm ult here. It's a nice biotic grenade, though, from Pleb, able to kill Austin and get everyone low. Now Phoenix backline gets automatic. It's 3v3. It's actually even. Allegro's able to get Phoenix, though, and the shield from PK was able to keep everyone at bay. Leon in the backline, but can't really do a whole lot. They go for the nade, but they're just trying to run at this point. Shan's going to get staggered here. And now it's basically last fight territory here for the first flashpoint. As Pleb's getting very close to this nano boost and Boop's getting close to the overclock, we can see a potential combo coming up for Quetzalcoatl. You do have to worry about the potential Panopticon from PK0, or maybe even... Oh, what a hook! With a shove into the wall from PK0, saving the hook target there from Gabe. I think it was Allegro who got hooked. And Allegro was able to pick off Gabe. Allegro gets another... Mercy boosted Emray is still one of the scariest things in the game damage-wise, just because of the nades. Because I think off of one nade with a damage boost, you can get like a max of like 140, 150 damage. And so that's going to be first flashpoint going to Unkstack very quickly, and Tokotoro and Allegro are already able to pick off the back line. They're just gone, eviscerated, back to the spawn doors. Okay. Gabe's gonna go over to the Maga now, which is very good into the Domina, I will say. Unfortunately, the M-Ray, that's what I'm worried about here for Gabe. The M-Ray's gonna have a lot of pressure. But once again, you do have the Nano Overclock from IPE Quetzalcoatl, but it is a Mercy pocketed override protocol here from Allegro. We saw this on Esperanza from IPE Quetzalcoatl, actually. It was very scary. Boop is able to pick up Allegro. Gabe is 1 HP. The Nano Boost goes on to the Torbjorn, and Shen gets Aussie. And will the Torbjorn do it? It's the question. Boop pops the overclock, looking for 1, gets 2, gets 3, gets the headshot. Very, very nice play there from Quetzalcoatl. They're able to get at the point with only 2 ults used. And, I mean, Aussie's back over the Tracer. Yeah, it's 3 ults now for both sides, actually. Only 2 for Quetzalcoatl. You just have to be a little bit wary of the Molten Core. Shan's about to get it, so it's going to be a little rough. Pleb's 1 HP. And it's going to be Shan actually just quickly headshotting Aussie. It's going to be a Panopticon onto the Maga. Unfortunately, Coalescence and 2 Maga miniguns. Very hard to not shoot through the bubble. And now Shan has a Molten Core for whoever decides to walk to the point. 60% and counting here. Probably last fight territory for this flashpoint on Palace. So it's going to be 2 support ults for Unkstack against the Molten Core. And Pleb gets picked off early. Gabe has to run away. And now Quetzalcoatl is going to have to disengage. And the rush is going to get counteracted by the Molten Core. PK0 just trying to survive, getting shoved into a corner by the Maga. Has to use her own shield to just survive. Kind of just hiding, playing a little bit of hide and seek. Phoenix is able to get Austin. And now it's a 4v4. Valkyrie online though for the Mercy. Boop gets the pick. It's a 3v4 now. And Unkstack's just going to get ran down on Maga. Maga overrun a Torbjorn turret. I mean, PK0 gets rezzed, but it's just too much damage to handle. So now it's a flashpoint each here for both teams. And the Maga has actually been able to do a lot of work pressuring out PK0 here. After the, you're taking a lot of spam damage from the Torb, and then you don't really get any downtime just because of the sheer pressure of 2 Maga miniguns. Like I said, very scary. Does a lot of damage. So, and it's going to be Allegro fighting Boop early here, but Quetzalcoatl having the most leeway here on the point so far. They're already there. They're standing on it. They can play their angles. It's going to be a very early cage there, but it's a good shield from PK0, and the cage is already broken. So much spam damage there from the side Unkstack, and they're going to get a quick cleanup. The DPS duo of Aussie and Allegro. Also, Aussie is now over to the Sojourn, by the way. I don't know if that was last fight or not when this happened. I just would like to inform you for your audio listeners. So now we have 3 ults online for Quetzalcoatl. The Overclock, the Nano Boost, and the Coalescence is very good. We could use we could see L3 here. And for Unkstack, it's going to be close to both DPS ults and a Panopticon. And it's going to be an early override protocol. Trying to split up the backline from the rest of their team right now. The turret's going to get nuked by Allegro. The override protocol able to get a lot of good space. But now it's a Nano Overclock on the field. PK0 going to shove the Sojourn away, but the Domina still not the tankiest tank, I think. The Panopticon was used and shut down by the Overclock, by the way. Tokator's out of the Boop. Automatic trying to run away. The Mercy is a little fast, but not fast enough to escape the Torbjorn. Tokator gets another. The Kiriko getting killed in this fight. Aussie trying to find a pick on the Soj, but Tokator gets killed off by Shan. And the flashpoint will stop at 69% for the Unkstack there in that fight. And I was right. Quetzalcoatl did use all 3 of their ults in that engagement, and you're only really coming up to a Molten Core at 20%. So if Unkstack plays their cards right and goes super fast with this Overclock Kitsune Rush combo that they have, they can just run down game, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to go for their early shield. They go to the rush to the point. Going to be a little too far back, actually. I think it got stuck on a corner or something. And now it's going to probably be the cap here for Unkstack. They're just going to try and nuke the Maga. The Overclock will use as well. Now Automatic getting close to the Valkyrie. PK0 though getting farmed for all their health. Basically just a mega health pack in the Maga's eyes here. Gabe's going to be able to get Allegro, and the Domina is able to help get the flip. It's going to be Automatic with the Valkyrie trying to survive, trying to find something here. Going to have to still run away from the Maga, just such a force of nature. And now 70% counting here for the side of Quetzalcoatl. Phoenix getting close to the Coalescence. Pleb gets his Nano Boost as well. And now this map is going in favor of Quetzalcoatl with an even greater chance of a reverse sweep and a map 5 happening. 15%, it's going to be a nice nade from Pleb hitting PK0, so the Domina cannot touch. The only touch so far will be from Allegro, who gets their knees broken. It's going to force out the Nano Boost though onto Boop. And honestly, the fact that you get a Nano Boost out of that at all is kind of good value for the Unkstack. Unfortunately, you're going to the two very more brawl heavy points. It's going to be a nice usage from side of Toro, but it's just too late. Boop is there, going to be able to burn everyone down. And I honestly think it's time for a comp switch up if you're side of the Youngstack, because the Domina here against the Maga, I mean, you're just not surviving. It doesn't matter how much poke you put into this guy, there's still 4 other people to shoot at you as well. So it's kind of just a rough issue there, as the point's going to be unlocked soon, and Quetzalcoatl's right here, they're ready. And they have 4 ults online. Boop falls low early, but not too much else to worry about besides that. Gonna be an early multi-core from Shan to stop the Unkstack's initial engage here. But Allegro does have an override protocol, which they're gonna just swing into the skies with. Gonna be able to burn down anything. The cage actually just gonna get brought down too, because you can shoot through the roof. So, you know, a few pocketed heavy rounds from the M-Ray, gonna be able to do a whole lot of work. 20% counting here on the point for Quetzalcoatl. Unkstack are able to get the flip at 27. Tokotoro gets slept. Allegro might be able to catch out the enemy Torbjorn here if you get super greedy. And now all Quetzalcoatl will be on the left side of Temple. It's going to be an early Panoptic Hunt running down the Maga, trying to put a lot of pressure on the backline as they can as well. And Gabe actually 1 HP. They have to go with the mini health back. They're trying to get away. Now it's a nano boost in Maga. The Domino might just get walked out, but it's a rush to prevent the Maga along with the overclock. They're just trying to pump out as much damage as possible here for the Young Tech. Flag was able to get Aussie, but now it's a 4v4. Automatic getting closer and closer to this Valkyrie to support the team. It's going to be a Maga shoved away. Tokotoro dodges the overrun. Automatic, not so lucky. But they do get away with the Guardian Angel. Allegro gets 2 before potentially falling here. The Siphon Blaster able to keep them alive. And now the Valkyrie from Automatic is going to be able to boost the Mercy Silly even further. Allegro is going to be able to survive. But it's just going to be a stall attempt now as Quetzalcoatl were able to get the flip. And now they're at 50%. Last fight for the map potentially. Automatic's going for the Barbie Blaster on the Mercy. And no kills were gotten. And that was basically all your ults. Automatic chooses to jump off the map, and that's going to be a very dangerous situation now. As PK0 is going over to the Diva, it's going to be a Cage, Coalescence, and Overclock for the side of Quetzalcoatl. So really, I mean, Allegro's Override Protocol won't be able to get a lot of value. And you're just have to pray PK0 can make some magic happen on the Diva here. Or maybe pick off the Moira early. Something to those likes, because right now I don't know how you're going to stop this hold. It's overtime activated now. Last fight scenario for the point is going to be PK0 getting hit with everything, getting hit with the cage, getting hit with a DMAC. It's Allegro finding 1 with the override protocol, but he gets a touch. He gets shot down. Boop 3 with the overclock, getting 4. And that means we're going to map 5, ladies and gentlemen. All right, yep, the reverse sweep is officially possible. Wow. I mean, just props. Gotta give props. Now, the last map type we can go to is, Escort. It's Escort left. And, I mean, if I'm Unkstack, I say Route 66. 100 times out of 10. It's the worst map for everything that, probably that Quetzalcoatl could play. And I mean, we saw what happened when Gabe tried to play the Winston. It was a little rough. Reinhardt would also not fare as well. And now I think you have to be a little worried here if you're Unkstack, just because of the matter of you were playing very dominantly in the first 2. But now it's Quetzalcoatl just doing some slight adaptations here. Just even going over to Maga has been doing a lot of work. So with a map 5 in the way, I'm going to put my bet on Route 66 or Rialto. If they go to the other one, I would be shocked. Actually, what is the other third map? I think we should go look at the map, ladies and gentlemen. And it is, oh, it's Havana. Yeah, yeah, like it. As I said before, yeah, Havana, you can still get away with a few gimmicks. So I'd say Route 66 is their safest bet. The only issue is I think you would need to ban a DPS here just to protect ban the M-Ray of Allegro. Because if you, or maybe you could go back to the Bastion Cat comp. I'm just kind of the bans. I think all the obvious bans are out of the way. So any deciding pick here, I don't know what we could really see, and it will be Havana picked by the Youngstack, going for the full poke match. I just feel like they can get away with the Maga here. A little scared, but they could potentially ban the Maga and go full poke. We're just gonna have to see, and like I said, it's coming down to a map 5, ladies and gentlemen, so That's why I always tell you get your snacks and get your drinks because this happens a lot for some reason, especially when I'm solo casting. So they make me cast for as long as possible. It's great, actually. And so I think we've seen pretty much everything both teams have to offer here. But I mean, we haven't seen the full poke match from. We saw something fully poke adjacent on Saravasa from the side of Youngstack, but we didn't even see a Sigma. I mean, the Domino kind of just got walked down a little bit of a late of a Demon Swap too. So I'm expecting Pika Zero to probably go with the Sigma here and put a lot of, early poke in. I mean, you could rock the any tank. Yeah, I was gonna say Maga. I'm just gonna assume a Maga. And so that's a little rough. But we'll be going to Havana, like I said, map 5. And if they find a way to draw this and go to a map 6, I will legitimately just get up and leave. You'll just be able to watch you'll just be able to watch the 6 map happen because you can draw on escort. Fun fact, you can. It's very difficult, but you can because it's like you have to be 0.01 meters away from capturing like the golden box of victory. If someone gets to like 48.97 meters on attack, if you get if you go you how you win is by 47.98 meters. So, or 40.9. I don't know if I said 48 or whatever. You get what I mean. You have to be 0.01 across the golden box. So, you could draw. And with how this match is going, it's honestly a possibility. And yes, mod hubs, we do have a chance. At a reverse sweep, we have a chance. I've seen one of these before back in my day. I've seen one. It was very interesting. Um, as now your bans are going to be in. It's going to be a Torbjorn ban from the Young Stack and an Ana ban from IPE Quetzalcoatl. And I think the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming in into our hopefully last map. I would have to think it would be our last map coming up, as we are going to be going in very momentarily. I hope you all enjoyed watching so far, and just a reminder, this is only week 2, and if I'm pretty confident that this is the winners bracket so far for Div 2. So even if one of these teams loses, they will only just be relegated to the losers finals, which will put one of these teams into grand finals, and I think I'm pretty correct on that, on the standings at least. I could actually, you know what? While we wait for this map to start, I'm gonna look because I do not want to spread misinformation to the to the league. So, standings. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. We're just gonna look through here. Um, where are the brackets? I know we can see the brackets somewhere. Or at least I thought we could. Uh, oh yeah, by the way, this is the 1 seed playing the 2 seed. So yeah, this is most definitely the winners finals. I'm just trying to find this. I cannot actually find uh hmm. I thought we had a bracket system somewhere. That is my bad. I just have to look later. Uh oh, we do. Oh wow, we do. I can't find it. So yeah, this will be the winner. Yeah, I'm looking. Jeez. Yep, we do. So this is the winter finals. I was correct. I was not a crazy person. And if you don't hear if I'm talking to someone, that would be the producer. So they probably have to unmute it. So currently, the loser of this match will play the winner of Shibi versus DCG Profits. And whoever wins this will go to the grand finals for Div 2. Now, if they win, that's another story for another day. Oh, okay. So whoever I just got more news that DCG Profits won the losers bracket round 1. So whoever loses will be playing DCG Profits as we continue to wait to go into Havana. Uh, yeah, so that should be it for now, and I'm honestly just gonna take a minute to rest my voice. So we'll be in Havana soon. I'm not talking. What this? And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as there will be a swap coming in for IPE Quetzalcoatl as no, wrong roster. And there'll be a swap coming in for Unkstack as I forgot will be coming in for Automatic. And so map 5 Havana. The bands are in. The bands are in. So let's go to our final map for the night. I think I also, when I said the bands earlier, I was wrong. I think we had an old band still. No, okay. Quetzalcoatl did ban the Ana, and Unkstack did ban the Tormir. Okay, I was correct on that front. So now, like I said, we're probably going to be seeing a poke matchup coming through. And that's all I can really expect. I mean, unless like Unkstack goes for like a crazy spawn hold comp or something, which would be crazy. But no, just poke. Man, that is like comp from Quetzalcoatl. Okay, let's go over this one. We have Boop on the Junkrat, Shan on the Vendetta, Gabe on the Maga, Phoenix on the Wuyong, and Pleb on the Alari. A lot more poke heavy, just with a Maga, little sprinkle of Maga, and actually Boop is going over to the Sojourn, just teasing us a bit with the Junkrat there. And for Unkstack, it'll be Allegro on the Sojourn, Osti on the Hanzo, PK0 on the Sigma. I forgot on the Baptiste, and Tokotoro on the Kiriko. And actually, now Boop's over to the Widowmaker, and Phoenix is over onto the Moira, and Gabe is on the... Okay, they're just swapping the best with me now. This is evil. This is evil, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see this? Gabe's over to the Roadhog, Shan's on the May, Pleb's on the Lucio, and Phoenix is on the Moira, with Boop on the Widowmaker. There we go. Those are your official roster. And Boop is able to pick off Allegro early here. The Widowmaker able to find an opening pick. And now it's going to be an early disengage from the Young Stack as they're just going to fall low. Aussie almost gets picked off as well. And you just can't let that happen. I mean, now the Roadhog's already behind you. By the way, he rotated through the high ground, went all the way down and down the stairs. So now the map is flipped. And now I forgot is just crouching for his life. Because the Widowmaker is trying to hunt him down. PK0 gets picked off by Phoenix. It was Austin. And yeah, the Roadhog just was able to rotate through the high ground and kill everyone. Unfortunate there for the Young Stack. As they're just going to cruise through first point. Already getting close to a wall hacks. Of the infra site, there we go. That's the actual name. And now we're going to see a full comp swap coming in. Austy's going over to the Reaper, PK0 is going over to the Diva, and I forgot going over to Lucio. There's a quick hook on to PK0, they get demeched immediately, as IPE Quetzalcoatl's already in the far side of second point, actually. And, I mean, without a Diva mech, they're just going to run in for Unkstack. They're just going to go with it. You're able to get one, it's booped down. Gabe gets two, however. Phoenix 1 HP. Aussie on the Reaper doing a lot of work. Phoenix 1 HP. Aussie gets that. You're looking for the Roadhog as well. The Reaper's just trying to survive, but he's gonna get burst down by the May. Shan gets two for the cleanup, and that'll be first point capped with 5 minutes on the clock. You already have a whole hog online for Quetzalcoatl, along with a blizzard on the way from Shan. Boop's gonna go over to the Sojourn, and now PK0 getting burned down by the whole hog. Gabe used it very preemptively. And PK0 is still going in, getting bursted down, able to survive. Allegro's able to find Pleb, and now you are up in numbers this fight. And if you go for a hook now, Pleb might just, Game just might die for it. You already have the overclock for Allegro, and now PK0's been demeched again. So with no mech, I mean the hog hook kinda is free. Boop gets Austy on there trying to catch. I think they were trying to catch. I can't tell who. Allegro probably overclocked, is able to find Pleb on the stagger. They're coming out of spawn and they just get sent back. And now it's going to be Gabe sitting behind on the Roadhog trying to find an opening pick. Boop trying to clear out Allegro as well. It's going to be a coalescence from the small room. PK0 already getting close to losing them again. Oh wait, PK0 eats the blizzard. But the coalescence from Phoenix is able to find Allegro. The mech goes down. Boop finds Sokotoro. Phoenix is able to get PK0, and I forgot gets one. It's just two members left. Aussie trying to find Boop, but they get picked off. And it's just been stagger fight after stagger fight here for the Young Stack. I forgot it's literally 1 HP in their spawn doors. They're not gonna be able to get a touch and make that second point gap. 5 minutes to go again for Quetzalcoatl. Moving through third point is gonna be a lot more difficult for this comp, but I mean I'm not throwing anything out of the ballpark yet here for these guys. I've seen a crazy reverse sweep before. I can throw you another one. Gonna be an early V from Pleb. Gonna be an OC from Boop. Amplification makes sure it's just to try to prevent something. It comes out with a wall. Aussie goes in with Denifloss. I mean, it's a 3v3. Two people have been traded off of both teams. But both supports are still alive here for inside of the Young Stack. PK0 is getting burnt down. I mean, that is a man of Moira. Diva can't even defense matrix 2/3 of what she's fighting right now. And now Car's going to be moving through the first half of the point. That's a minute run off the clock. And now no ults for the side of Quetzalcoatl. And 3 for the side of Unkstack. It's going to be a nice hook though onto Austin. And now it's going to be a quick one to PK0. They're going to have to try to survive. They're going for a deep bomb potentially here. I forgot pops the beat as well. Beat comes out. Maybe bomb. The mech doesn't get anyone. I was really hoping for a mech stomp. Tokotoro was able to get Boop. And now it's a disengage for the side of Quetzalcoatl. And Shan almost blocks off their own Lucio. Allegro has an overclock here, and it's really rough to rotate through this point. It's going to be an early coalescence. Overclock comes through, but you're getting walked down here by Quetzalcoatl. It's just pure Roadhog and coalescence, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it. And now left by territory here for the point. Allegro trying to get away, gets hooked, however. It's going to be I forgot for the touch, potentially. PKs are going to go over to the emergency Maga. Tokotoro is getting close to this implication matrix, but the Maga dodges the hook, but they're taking so much damage already that I don't know if you're going to be able to live. There's going to be a blizzard on the point as well, so Shan can just sit there and watch. And yep, go straight onto the Maga. PK0 getting burned down. I forgot gets Pleb, but that'll be it. The Lucio stalling for as long as he can, but that is still a 3 minute and 2-second cap for third point. Yeah. The wheels for Unkstack's roll have broken off, fallen off, and are now untraceable, unfindable. And the reverse sweep seems to be in the driver's seat of IPE Quetzalcoatl. I'm stunned. I'm fully stunned here. I mean, that Esperanza just changed everything. And there's also the unfortunate, like, 5-10 minute internet outage apparently that happened for the side of the Young Stack. And I mean, it's just the cards are running away. And now, I don't know. We could see anything. We could see an emergency comp from the Young Stack. We could see Roadhog again from IPE Quetzalcoatl. And it's actually going to be an actual standard poke comp. No, in the final hour, Quetzalcoatl's running something normal. Ladies and gentlemen, I can say I can no longer predict Overwatch. I am going to retire, and yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be Pleb on the Zenyatta, Phoenix on the Bap, Gabe on the Sigma, Shan on the May, Boop on the Sojourner. A lot of spam damage coming in. It's gonna be a Brawl comp coming from the Young Stack. It's gonna be Allegro on the Bastion, Aussie on the May, PK0 on the Ramatra, I forgot the Lucio, and Tokotoro on the Baptiste. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming down to this round for now, at least. We could see 3 or 4 coming up with a potential full cap from Unkstack, but you just gotta be a little worried. You're gonna get walked down early. You have to be wary of these melee walls from Shan. And you already have a railgun online for Boop. Looking for the target. Probably gonna be looking for Totoro or Allegro here. Gonna be a nice icicle though from Platinum Aussie. Gonna clear the Sojourner to move back a little bit. Because you're trying to walk up, trying to clear your Gabe here on the Sigma, and it's going to be the Nemesis form taking a lot of early damage. The Bastion is able to rotate to the far right. The Sigma's going to get walled off, going to get hit with the Nemesis form, and the Immortality Field's going to go down. The Sigma falling low, and Allegro is able to get the pick. Aussie's able to get the cleanup, and it's going to be another fast first point. These teams don't care about defense. They care about sheer, unadulterated offense. As now, it's just going to be Boop trying to survive here, PK0 trying to get the early clear. Minute already burned up the clock, but the card's almost already at the finish line for first point. Left side's going to be cleared off. It's trying to probably have to be the Sojourner touch. And if Gabe goes in, he's going to hit with a very angry Ramatra Nemesis form. It's going to be the Sojourner sliding in the Immortality Field, not going to be able to save the Sojourner in time. Boop goes down, and now we're falling low. Allegro with the Torrid form as well. Oh, it's just so much damage. And the Ram is just unkillable. PK0 is able to get the cleanup, gets 3, gets 4, gets 5. And now it's 5 minutes on the clock for Unkstack as they move through their attack. Now you have you have an amplification matrix online. You have a annihilation. You have a artillery strike. You have a blizzard. But it's gonna be a PK0 getting hooked early, and it's gonna be a slow amplification matrix. Gabe's trying to get literally nuked, and it's gonna be Tokotoro getting traded as we see a few swaps coming in. Actually, just 2. It's Pleb on the Weaver and Gabe going over to the Roadhog. But now 4 minutes, 30 seconds. It's going to be a lot of spam from the side of Unkstack. You have a lot of ults coming up though from both sides. Overclock, Blizzard, amplification matrix of their own for IPE Quetzalcoatl. It's going to be a wall and artillery strike combo there, trying to get rid of Boop, but they get pulled by Pleb. PK0 could go in here eventually with a potential annihilation, but they're falling very low. They pop it just to live. Tokotoro gets frozen. It's an overclocked Blizzard combo. Anyone who gets stuck is going to get murdered. Gabe gets 3, Boop gets the rest. 4 minutes left to go. And it's just going to be an amplification matrix against this Blizzard beat combo from the Young Stack. 4 minutes remaining in this attack as you try to push through second point. And now it's going to be a quick rotate here for Unkstack. They're going to try to go to the left side. Allegro's going to be flanking with I Forgot, actually, onto the right. They're going to be marked up by Boop, but, I mean, you have I Forgot on Lucio for the beat. The beat could just be a fight winner. Allegro trying to get the swing, but Gabe so far into the left side of the map that a Bastion turret form, not going to do a whole lot. But Aussie's Icicle to the Sojourner's head, a Boop! Sure will. And that's going to clear out the right side of the map entirely for Unkstack. They're going to be able to move very greedily here. Allegro fighting in one of the weirdest amplification matrices I've seen today. Phoenix is able to get the opening pick. The Immortality Field not going to be able to keep him alive. I Forgot not electing to pop the beat yet, as I Forgot is falling very low. PK0 is falling very low. It's going to be the beat now. And it's going to keep a Tokotoro alive through the hook from the Roadhog. It's going to be a tree on the left side of the map. It's chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Gabe getting closer and closer to this whole hog. Oops, able to get Tokotoro. Now it's just Unkstack getting burned down. They get the cart right to the end of second point, but there will be no cap. Because they were trying to get one last kill, not going to be able to happen, and now it's a Blizzard and whole hog for the side of Quetzalcoatl. And now coming up for Unkstack, you're starting to lose out on the ult economy. You have Allegro's artillery strike, and that's about it. And now you'd see Gabe here on the high ground, sitting behind basically wherever Unkstack are going to rotate, and just looking for a very, very sneaky hook. Pleb falls low, Boop gets Allegro, and now it's a stagger. And the hook comes up from the Roadhog and whiffs. They are now aware of Gabe's position, but it doesn't really matter as Boop is able to headshot Austin. Both DPS for Unkstack are staggered now. 2 minutes left to go, and Unkstack are their hopes are dwindling fast here. They might be getting sent to the loser bracket and a miraculous upset by Quetzalcoatl. Alright, he's 3 ults online now. Phoenix getting closer and closer to the amplification makes sure so well. They had to expect Gabe here. Still sitting on the high ground. Aussie's able to find Boop early, no overclock in the fight. He gets hooked, and now it's a lot of, you don't really have to worry as much. No ram in your face. There's gonna be a potential blizzard from Chan. They drop down though, and Allegro's able to jump away. Tokotoro not so lucky. And now it's gonna be a very scrappy fight. Allegro gets picked off. Pleb falling low. Pleb gets picked up by PK0. The bad piece here for Phoenix trying to survive. Aussie has a blizzard but gets traded up by Boop. Boop comes back from the fight. 1:30 left, and PK0 going to run away as best they can. Yeah, they're probably gonna die, but they're trying. And now, 4 ults from the side of Unkstack, 3 with a 4th on the way from IPE Quetzalcoatl. And if you are the Unkstack, you need to go now, because if Pleb gets time to get that tree, you just don't have enough burst damage to get the confirm. And now it's going to be, yep, they smelled the Roadhog. They're going to rotate through. They wall him and everything. Gabe is getting utterly denied. But it's going to be amplification. Trying to swing through. Aussie gets Pleb. No tree in this fight. Tokotoro, though, falling low. Allegro is getting jumped out by the Roadhog. It's going to be an overclock from Boop. But he walks into 5. You still get Tokotoro, who has been getting very unfortunately picked off in a lot of these fights. And now Phoenix doesn't get traded out. It is just Shan left trying to stall this cart. And Pleb was able to get the pull away. They're going to have a tree for the stall. Going to be our Allegro artillery strike trying to clear up something here. Forcing out Pleb. If you can get the touch, it might just be a... it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Shan gets murdered. Annihilation just to put the... just to make sure you get the kill here. And now it's going to be 4 ults for Quetzalcoatl. I mean, you had to go to that second point not using a single ult. Now you have minute 30 to hold 3rd point Havana, one of the hardest points of the game, with just a beat to Unkstack name. If they are able to pull this out and send this to extra innings, ladies and gentlemen, this will be one of the closest games I've casted recently. Phoenix falling low. Gonna be an early neutral. Allegro gets hooked. Nice immortality field though. The whole hog comes out. Allegro's just trying to survive, but he's gonna get moved off the map. No, he dodges the whole hog bullets at the end, but Aussie is not the chance to say, and it's a triple K whole hog off the map. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, last fight territory going up, and it's gonna be a tree and a blizzard against whatever Unkstack can throw at them. It's going to be Gabe getting walked down very early, still have the potential to get pulled. They get the Immortality Field and the Weaver Pull. The Hog falling low. It's going to be an Amplification Matrix. Actually, no, it's going to be a tree. The beat comes out. Unkstack are just going to try to walk it down. They find Pleb. They're trying to survive. I forgot pop the beat. Tokotoro, though, already has to use the Immortality Field. The tree's just too strong. PK0 finds Shan. Everyone's slowed. Good slow by PK0, who's able to find Tokotoro once again. 20 seconds left to go. Gabe's going to get pulled down. Phoenix 1 HP, 2. That's 2 staggers. Pleb goes over to the Zenyatta. And now, it's 4 ults versus a Blizzard, Amplification Matrix, and Overclock on the way for the Unkstack. It's overtime. It's gonna be a long last fight. Will the reverse sweep come to fruition, or will we be going to round 3? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Overtime activates. Aussie falls low. You need to play for the point here if you are Unkstack. It's going to be the artillery strike to clear the high ground. Soldier already has to use their slide. Once, twice, gonna get picked off. Left falling low. It's a very nice artillery strike. It clears out the Immortality Field as well. Phoenix 1 HP. I don't know if you'll be able to get this Immortality Field out. It's going to be Blizzard on both points. PK0 just trying to survive. Both tanks are frozen. Austin gets 1. Allegro gets the rest. There's going to be cleanup crew time. Pleb, Shan can't do enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to round 3. Unkstack were able to pull through. And they got very lucky in that fight too. They were able to shut down Boop and Phoenix before those old ults came out. If an overclock or an amplification matrix were let out, or even both, that would have been game set match. But we're going to round 3, and since Unkstack had no time on the clock, that will give an extra minute to Quetzalcoatl, giving them a full round of time once again. They have 4 minutes and 2 seconds. They have a little extra. Unkstack have 1 minute plus overtime. They are going to need one of their best attacks that they can give us, or they're gonna have to have the greatest defense ever. You're probably just gonna have to go for the former here and go for a really aggressive offense comp. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know. I was just gonna say something random. Oh, my voice hurts. Oh God, these guys are making me yell. Oh wow. Also off topic, ladies and gentlemen, just because I've noticed I have a mosquito bite. When you go outside now, if it's getting warm out, start putting on some bug spray if you're staying out there for a long time, because mosquitoes are back, and they are very, very annoying. Well, can we get a Nebula Series branded mosquito spray? We probably could. Alright, minute left on the clock here already. The round just started, but still. It's gonna be basically the same comp here for IPE Quetzalcoatl, but now Pleb is on the Lucio. That'll be the only difference. We're going to extra innings, so if this goes to around 5 or 6, I'm gonna scream, by the way. I'm just gonna give up. 30 seconds left to go already. It's gonna come down to whoever gets an opening pick. If Unkstack get it, they can roll through first. That'll be great. If they can't, and IPE, if Quetzalcoatl gets it, they're gonna be in a very rough spot. They have to drop early though, the high ground's covered. Gabe going behind for a potential hook onto a leg row with Pleb on the high ground as well. The hook comes out, they get Tokotoro. 15 seconds left to go, you're gonna have to survive. It's just up to a matter of living now in PK0. Without a Baptiste, it's gonna be really difficult, especially with the May on the high ground. I don't know how she got there. And now it's just a matter of prayer for Unkstack. Aussie's trying to survive as long as they can. I forgot, it goes down. Allegra trying to get an opening pick, trying to find something. Pleb goes down, and 75 meters is all Unkstack is gonna get. You are going to need a full hold on Havana with 4 minutes for Quetzalcoatl. If you gave them 2 minutes, sure, doable. 4 though, that's a whole round. You'll need to play perfect. Or Quetzalcoatl can play worse, but I don't think that's happening. Oh my God, they're gonna find a way to draw this. They're gonna find a way to draw this, guys. I'm losing my mind. They're gonna find a way to draw this, and I'm gonna lose it. We've gone into overtime. This is round 4. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, if your friend told you to come watch whatever nonsense this is, there's a chance for a reverse sweep from IPE Quetzalcoatl. Unkstack was up 2-0, and now we have gone into round 4 of Havana with Boop on the Widowmaker, who's going to put infinite pressure onto the side of the Unkstack. Shan on the May, Gabe on the Roadhog, Phoenix on the Moira, and Pleb on the Lucio. And for Unkstack, it's going to be Allegro on the Bastion, Austie on the May, PK0 on the Ram. I forgot on the Lucio, and Toko Toro on the Baptiste. Those are your final rosters for hopefully the final round of tonight's only game of Div 2 Winners Finals. Boop, gonna get cleared out very quickly here. Get hit by a headshot, I think. It's going to be very difficult for Gabe to walk, but they're just going to go straight to high ground anyways. They don't really care. That's going to have to be a flip map, and oh my God, Unkstack, they're flipping the map! They're going to the spawn! They're just going to kill Shan, they're going to stagger the May, and they have flipped the map on IPE Quetzalcoatl. They are, oh my God. That's genius. They just see the hog run, and they're like, alright, I'm going to go into backline. Phoenix gonna get, not traded out, the Moira gets away. Moira gets away, and Aussie almost picked off, and you basically need, no one can die on this round. No one can die on this round. For, Unkstack, if you die, you lose. It's as simple as that right now. It's gonna be another quick rotate here. PK able to shield off the hook, Gabe falls 1 HP, Aussie gets the trade, and now with PK0 on the Ramatra, punching everyone in the face. Allegra getting close to the artillery strike already. Allegra getting 3, a minute burn off the clock. You're already halfway to the golden block to victory if you're IPE Quetzalcoatl, and you just need to build up ult. That's all you need to do right now. A fourth of the time has been burned. And Unkstack is not going to go out quietly. They're going to go as hard as they can here. That's going to be a flank hook, blocked again by PK0. This Ramatra needs to give himself some credit, because this man is blocking everything. He is like an ad blocker. Aussie lives at 6 HP for the May block, and everyone's falling low. It's going to be Boop being picked up amplification matrix with Allegro. Chan gets nuked, go jump to the sky with a May ice block perk, dies. Gabe goes down. That's 2 minutes burned off the clock. And Quetzalcoatl still hasn't built all their ults. And I mean, Allegro's already getting close to another artillery strike. As long as you play your ult cards right here for Unkstack, you have a chance at winning this. 2 minutes left to go. I forgot, gets Boop, runs away, gets traded out. Shan gets Aussie, it might be game over. PK0 gets one. You're just gonna have to need the stall lifetime here on the Ramatra. You have to live, or once we dodge the hook. The card is moving, 30 meters. Aussie's going over to the Sombra. You have a beat, you have an artillery strike, you have an annihilation, but Allegro has to swap just to get there. Aussie gets hooked. I don't think there's gonna be the touch. Oh no, oh no. The Hog is already so close into the enemy team. I forgot's going in. You need to get a beat touch though. It's gonna be the Coalescence. Tokutoro goes down. I forgot. 3% away from the beat. Dies. It's gonna be the whole Hog. Allegro gets the pick, but it's not gonna be enough. They try to strong for as long as they can. Annihilation. Potentially gonna be able to get game, but Allegro can't touch. Austin can't get there in time. IPE completes the reverse sweep. Are you kidding? They did it. And they are going into, they're gonna go into the Div 2 Grand Finals. With Unkstack being relegated to the losers finals for next week. I don't know. We almost just saw a spawn hold of the ages. We almost saw the hold, but not gonna be. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, IPE Quetzalcoatl are your winners. Now I have to even think of an MVP, which um uh um I guess we'll just give it to Gabe. I get Boop, Gabe, do they have a coach? Can I give it to that guy? Uh, can I give it to their coach? Do they have one? Oh God. I have to process this, guys. I don't even know who could get MVP. It's like everyone. Uh, okay. Well, we could give it to the crazy Hog player, the crazy May player, the crazy Soj player, the crazy Lucio Weaver player. Uh, hmm. I'm gonna let my tank bias slip for 1 second. I'm giving it to Gabe. I'm giving it to Gabe. Props to Boop though. I just don't know. The hooks, the headshots, I don't know which was better. It's even, but I'm giving it to Gabe or the MVP. And I don't even know if we're doing it interview. I'm not gonna lie. It's 5 maps of solo casting. Um but if we do have an interview, we could get him in here. And we could ask the big man some questions. I mean, honestly, there's also Gabe literally got a 3K boop kill. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a whole hog get 3 people off the map? Not kills, off the map on Havana. I mean, oh, what a series. Good lord. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so tired. This is why you need. This is why you need. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you need to follow Nebula series, Nebula underscore series at twitch.tv/, Nebula underscore series, because this is the entertainment that we get. And also, I think we were able to drag Gabe in for the interview. Hello,
Hello.
Roadhog, huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
We we were coming into that map. We're like we gotta play something different. So busted out the speed hog.
it's just Roadhog with a little spice.
Yeah.
Hmm. I I need to. I'm curious. How was the team after map number two after that new Bonnie?
That's when there was like that 5 minute pause, right? We took a
Yeah,
second, got a drink, and refocused for the next map. We realized like what we usually do wasn't gonna work. So we needed to mix it up a little bit.
yeah, and I'd say it worked pretty well as we can see.
Yeah.
Also, why do you guys make me hate? My voice is gonna be like shattered tomorrow. By the way, I hope you know. You got a 3K whole hog off the map. Uh, what? I'm never gonna be able to cast that ever again.
Thank you, thank you.
Um, hmm. I'm trying to think of some other questions here. What was the initial game plan? Like, how did it adapt overall? Like, you
Well,
kind of like.
usually we have our defaults that we play, and it's been shown in the other matches that have been casted.
Mhm,
Like we'd like to run the Roadhog on Ubani defense. We like to play Esperanca a certain way. We like to play Havana a certain way with like the Rhine on defense. And then
yeah,
we realized after the first two maps, like our usual default, just they're not working.
yeah,
This team did their homework, so we needed to mix it up. Yeah, I
and
think literally Havana, that was the first time we did. Well, we done the speed hog on other maps. That was the first time we did it on Havana. And then that's with the Ana band to make sure they can't just
yeah.
sleep and anti me.
Uh, what are the comms like after the final map win? I'm
After the
curious.
final map win, there was a lot of yelling.
Yeah. Like, I'm not
and
gonna
and a
lie.
lot of sorry.
No, you go, you go.
Phoenix was really proud of us for like locking in and staying focused throughout the maps.
Yeah.
Because that's something, we've gotten better at. It wasn't always that good.
All right, and I mean, I don't want to keep you too long because I think you probably want to go celebrate with your team. So I think I'll just keep the interview short and concise. Thank you for your time, Gabe. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you in the grand finals next week, or
Yeah.
2 weeks. I don't know when grand finals are. I don't know if they're next week or the week after.
Oh, we'll look
I,
at the schedule.
I
Yeah, but
I haven't done my homework, but yeah, congrats on making
excited.
grand
Yeah.
final. Yeah, all right, thank you, and good luck in your next games.
Thank you. You too. Enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that out of the way, your MVP interview with Gabe, the tank player for IPE Quetzalcoatl. We saw a reverse sweep for our end of the week. A very, very interesting week. We only had 2 3-0s out of like potentially 5, which is, hey, that's pretty good for us. So, reverse sweep to end our night. I hope you're all enjoying your Sunday night wherever you are, or Sunday afternoon. Um, as per usual here, this is Nebula series. I hope it. I hope it's not anyone else. I'm your caster Dusty, and I would like to thank you all for watching this week of Nebula series. As we will be back for at least the losers finals next week. I don't know if losers finals and grand finals are both next week. I'm sorry, I haven't done my homework, but we will at least have losers finals to see who will all be seeded for the grand finals for the potential week after or the week of. So with that, I'm your caster Dusty. This is Nebula series, and I bid you all good night.